If you're struggling with infertility, chances are you might have ureaplasma and you probably don't even know that you have it. Hey, my name's Dr. Nichole Morris. I'm a naturopathic doctor. Happy to be here with you today. I have a previous video that goes into the nitty-gritty of what ureaplasma actually is, and today I want to leave you with some treatment options or some lifestyle changes that you can make to decrease the amount of ureaplasma in your body. When we head to our OB's office, a lot of times they just write us a pharmaceutical and send us on our way without looking at the whole picture. Step one of the whole picture is making sure that your husband is being treated as well. Ureaplasma, or BV, bacterial vaginosis, even yeast and other infections in the vaginal canal can transfer from husband to wife and back and forth during intercourse. So if you're being treated and your husband isn't being treated, we're kind of chasing a dead end because it's still being passed back and forth. So the first thing that is most important is to make sure that your provider is also taking your husband's health seriously as well. And if your OB isn't willing to prescribe for that, I would have your husband go to his primary care or maybe a urologist. With that being said, there are a lot of lifestyle changes that you can make and things that you can do at home to decrease your exposure to ureaplasma, bacterial vaginosis, which is Gardnerella. So let's talk through some of that. So the first thing that you want to do if you've been diagnosed with ureaplasma or a bacterial vaginosis is you want to either sanitize your underwear or you want to buy new ones. So you want to wash your underwear. I'm going to give you a few different ways that you can do this. You want to wash underwear in the hottest water that's safe for the fabric that you have. However, if you are struggling with vaginal infections, I would highly encourage you to make sure that your undergarments are 100% cotton. If you want to be over the top and as clean as you can, make sure that it is 100% white organic cotton. So wash in the hottest water that is safe for the material that you have. Usually that's like 60 Celsius, 140 Fahrenheit. And this helps to kill the bacteria, and it's much more effective than cold or lukewarm water. So I want to give you a few other options for sanitizing underwear besides just using hot water. And this is something that you want to do for your underwear and your husband's underwear as well. So the first thing that you can do is you can soak in white vinegar. You can do 1 cup of white vinegar to 1 gallon of warm water, soak for 30 to 60 minutes before washing in that hot water. Vinegar is a natural antibacterial, antifungal, so antimicrobial essentially overall. Another option is tea tree essential oil. So you want to make sure you're using a good quality tea tree essential oil. Add 5 to 10 drops of pure oil to your wash cycle, as tea tree is also an antimicrobial and it's really good for yeast. It's a good antifungal. So add 5 to 10 drops into your washing machine. Make sure that your skin is not sensitive to tea tree, so it's something that you always want to dilute, and that could be an option that works well for you. We can also dry in the sun. So drying your underwear on the old-fashioned clothesline or just outside in the sun, UV rays have natural antibacterial effects, and this can also help to sanitize products. And you also want to make sure when you're washing that you're using a good, gentle, fragrance-free detergent. Harsh chemicals, fragrances, this can disrupt the vaginal microbiome. So you want to choose hypoallergenic, natural detergents, something plant-based, free from dyes or perfumes, something that's going to be really gentle and clean for your body. For individuals experiencing recurrent bacterial vaginosis or ureaplasma infections, it's really important to consider the role of intimate hygiene products, including your underwear. So if this is something that you're experiencing, you're going to want to sanitize or replace underwear to help reduce the risk of re-exposure to that residual bacteria that may be lingering in fabrics even after regular washing. Underwear made from synthetic materials or those that retain moisture can contribute to an environment conducive to microbial imbalance. So it's really important to choose breathable natural fibers like organic cotton and ensuring that underwear and undergarments are properly cleaned, ideally with hot water or a sanitizing cycle in your washing machine, as this can support a healthier vaginal microbiome and reduce the recurrence of these infections. Today's episode is brought to you by the Fertility Formula Masterclass. My team and I have helped hundreds of married couples conceive naturally without IUI or IVF. If you're struggling to get pregnant or stay pregnant and have been told there are no other options, don't stop searching. There is hope, and finding the root cause is key. If you want to learn more about how we can support you on your journey to motherhood, head over to drnicholemorris.com, and don't forget, Nicole has an H in it. All right, let's get back to the show. Something else to consider if you're dealing with bacterial vaginosis or ureaplasma is lubricants and other things that you may be using with intimacy. So, some personal lubricants may be contributing to that recurrent BV or ureaplasma by altering the balance of the vaginal microbiome. Many of the conventional lubricants are really high in osmolarity. They contain glycerin, they might have added fragrances, chemicals, other things that can irritate the vaginal tissues and encourage overgrowth of some of these harmful bacteria. So, additionally, lubricants are oftentimes not pH balanced, and the ideal pH of the vaginal canal is around 3.8 to 4.5. And it's very, very important that the vaginal pH stays balanced. When the pH of the vaginal canal is not balanced, it can create an environment where BV and other bacteria are thriving, and it's more conducive for those bacteria. Where if our pH gets off, then it will, if pH is too high or too low, sperm cannot survive and they're basically killed on impact. So it's really important that when we're trying to conceive and we're using these lubrications, that one, we're not killing off our sperm, and two, we're not creating an environment in which BV can thrive. So to reduce the risk of BV and ureaplasma and other infections, make sure that you're choosing water-based, pH-balanced, glycerin-free lubricants. You're going to want to avoid anything with artificial scents or dyes or parabens. This is just good for your fertility overall. I never recommend using these products. And it's very important to choose lubricants that are not oil-based. So some are coconut oil-based, and sperm cannot swim in the oil. So if you are trying to get pregnant, it's really important to use the water-based lubricants. So consider some natural options, minimal ingredients, aloe-based, water-based, and those are going to support the vaginal health the best. In the fertility formula, the infertility program that my coaches and I run, we check for vaginal infections on all of our clients. This is insanely important because a lot of these infections surprisingly are asymptomatic. So women come to us struggling with infertility and they have no idea that they even have infections in the vaginal canal. So part of our process is to check the vaginal microbiome, and we're checking for over 50,000 different infections that can be living in the vaginal canal. And sometimes women are symptomatic, but a lot of times they're not. As a reminder, some of those symptoms may be pain with intercourse, discharge that might be gray or yellow or green. We might have some odor like a fishy smell. If you're experiencing any of those things, you want to make sure to speak with your provider about that. But we're checking for all of these infections because we know that there can be a correlation between these infections and infertility. And it really shocks me how many undiagnosed infections we're finding in our clients currently. Another tool that my team and I use when working with couples that are struggling with bacterial vaginosis is a hydrogen peroxide 3% rinse. So you're going to get a 30 milliliter bottle. You're going to add 3% hydrogen peroxide 50-50 with clean water. And you can use a peri bottle to rinse the vaginal canal once or twice per day for at least 14 days. There is great research on this. The research has shown to restore normal vaginal flora in 100% of cases and normal acidic pH in 98% of cases. That is remarkable research, and hydrogen peroxide is pretty cheap. Another thing that we'll sometimes do is use garlic, or allicin is the Latin for that. So garlic capsules. So we'll have our clients rinse with that hydrogen peroxide and then insert a garlic capsule vaginally to act as a natural antimicrobial in the vaginal canal. So that is another tool that you may want to look into or talk with your provider about. Another super easy tool that you could use is vitamin C suppositories. So again, make sure you talk with your doctor about this, but the research shows 250 milligrams of vitamin C inserted vaginally for 6 nights consecutively also reduces bacterial vaginosis and replenishes the vaginal microbiome with Lactobacillus crispatus, which is the bacteria that we want to find in the vaginal canal. We're looking for over 90% Lactobacillus crispatus in our clients that are trying to conceive. So when we get done killing all of this bacteria off, sanitizing our undergarments, making sure that we are using fertility-friendly lubrication, we need to repopulate the vaginal canal with Lactobacillus crispatus. So there are different brands out there that sell probiotics that are 100% Lactobacillus crispatus that can be inserted vaginally to help reseed that vaginal microbiome and restore the health of the microbiome in general. If you've enjoyed hanging out with me today and learning a little bit more about ureaplasma and BV and you still have some questions, good news. I've already recorded a video about ureaplasma. So all you need to do is click the video right here. It'll take you over. You can watch that. Make sure you click the bell, subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for hanging out with me on today's episode of Prescribing the Truth. If you loved our chat, you can find me on all the socials. Come say hi on Instagram at dr.NicholeMorris. And don't forget, I drop exclusive content on YouTube every week, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss out. Also, I've got to tell you, if you are in need of high-quality, research-backed supplements, check out shopdrmorris.com for my full line of third-party tested, USA-made products. My Prenatal Plus is top of the line for fertility support, and if you've got little ones, grab a bottle of Kids Complete too. Lastly, if you and your husband are trying to conceive naturally without IUI or IVF, my team and I would love to support you, pray with you, and walk this journey with you. Just head over to drnicholemorris.com. That's Dr. Nichole Morris, Nicole with an H, to book a preconception consultation with me. Thanks for joining me today. Stay informed and God bless.